Weapons. That is one of the most interesting aspects about every single Souls game, every single Souls title, because weapons that you find in these games can accompany you throughout the entirety of the game, and they're just so goddamn amazing. And there are some specific weapons that are broken, as broken can be. What is up, you damn gorgeous and beautiful gamers? Welcome back to Role-Playing Games. So it's Mariel Connor in the internet, where we like to discuss about RPGs if you like the content. If you like to have these conversations with Mariel James, I'd very much like to invite you, like always, to click the like button, because it really helps me like you have no idea. That being said, let's get right into it. The Child Beal 1789 Shield Musket. Now, what is so special about this weapon? What I love about this weapon is that it does not matter what kind of build you plan to use this weapon with, it's always going to be amazing. As you can see, the weapon itself has alchemy affinity. I haven't maxed it out to the highest level. I believe it's an S, weapon scaling, alchemy affinity. But if you are not an alchemy build, then worry not, because being an alchemy build is not what's going to be important about this weapon. What's going to be important about this weapon is that it can freeze enemies real fast. Like really fast. Most of the bosses, simple bosses, I will have footage on the screen right now. You can pretty much make this weapon be like your cheese weapon. Now, to get this weapon, you will find it as soon as you start the game, which is one of the most amazing parts about it all as well. You can get this weapon as soon as you start the game. You cannot miss it. It's just right after the first boss. After the first boss that you fight in the game, you're going to find it in a chest that's literally going to be in front of you, so there is no possible way for you to miss it. And that being said, provided that you are not fighting, now I'm going to give you some advice, some extra advice that you can use with this weapon. So the main stat that you want to have with this weapon, like I said, this is not for a specific build. Like, if you do not invest in any kind of stats with this weapon, provided that you are upgrading it, you're going to get more than enough element damage on the enemies to freeze them, especially if they are fire-based. Fire-based and fire-based and fulmination-based are just going to be a cakewalk. As you can see right here, I do have a high alchemy engineering, which is the stats that it's going to be helping you with this weapon. You are going to be consuming quite a lot of alchemical capsules with this weapon. Like I said, I am an alchemy build, so as you can see, I can pretty much break entirely the game with this thing. But if you are not an alchemy build, then you can do this. Freeze an enemy, attack, rinse and repeat. If you're worried about alchemy capsules, do not worry about that much. The enemies are going to give them to you, and you can also buy them, and they are not expensive whatsoever. Like, right now I have like 200 on me, and I do not even have to worry about too much. Now the stat that you do want to have with this weapon is engineering. Engineering is a stat that, all in all, it's going to basically help everyone. I would advise for you to have at least 10 points into engineering. That is going to ensure that you're freezing enemies as fast as I am doing right now in this showcase. Now, engineering is going to give you affliction multiplier, but it's also going to give you loot multiplier. Loot multiplier is amazing because you can get oil vials from that and alchemical capsules as well. Another interesting thing about engineering is that it gives you armor. Now, granted, you're not going to be hit with this build, with this weapon, but it's nice to have that extra armor as well. And like I said, it does not matter if you are not an alchemy build. You can be a power build, you can be an agility build, and just carry this thing around, and you can also use it for some times where you find that you are having such a rough time with some of the most annoying enemies. Just freeze them, and then get close to them with your preferred specific weapon of choice, and finish them up. And basically, it's easy mode of the game. It is going to be a little bit more harder enemies that are frost resistance, but they are mostly clustered in the second area of the game. Once you get past that area, there's not going to be that many frost resistant enemies in the game. And also, like I said, you can use this weapon to cheese bosses, provided that the boss does not have any kind of resistance to frost. You can cheese them easily with this weapon. And yeah, not all of the bosses, not many bosses have high resistance to freeze. So you can pretty much, again, when you get mobbed by enemies, just make sure to be moving around. And right now I'm not focusing that much because I am, of course, speaking about the weapon. But as you can see, it's also a weapon that can carry you out of situations where you have many enemies in front of you, and it's quite complex to actually fight them all at the same time. And again, quite being redundant right here, but as you can see right there, come on, stop being a cunt. As you can see right there, I can use my weapon to freeze my enemy and then finish him up with my main weapon. So I could definitely be a power build with focus on power, and agility build and focus on agility, and just save those extra 5 to 10 points in engineering for you to be able to be freezing enemies with this thing. Like I said, bosses, it works. High bosses, it works. Like the main bosses of the game, those take quite some more shots, but I have been using this thing throughout my entire playthrough, and it's just, I mean, it's just, it feels like so much cheese, dude, you know? But nonetheless, like, it's a weapon, it's in the game, you have to use it. I mean, why shouldn't I, right? I have my weapon, I have right here, and of course I am going to use it. So, that being said, if you find the information useful, if you like the video, I would very much like for you to like the video, and a subscription to the channel before you close the door will be super appreciated as well. Remember that if no one has told you today that you're a gorgeous and beautiful person, you are indeed a gorgeous and beautiful person. Have a beautiful day, and goodbye.